Hello, hello. This is Pod In The Life, and we are back. We are back with the new version of Pod In The Life while walking. The time is very good, actually, to be able to talk with you peeps. Finally, on the podcast while we walk. It's very, very good. So, in today's episode of A Pup in the Life, something that was on our mind quite a lot recently about how startups think about financials, about really building something meaningful, to be able to sell, and to be finally sustainable. So, there is a difference between being an actual startup and and a company that just tries to live on their means. Is that once you have a normal company, SMEs type of company, usually you spend just what you have. And let's say you get 100K in revenue in a year, well, you can spend up to 100K in revenue in a year. Let's not talk about taxes because it's too complicated now and it depends from country to country, but you get what I'm saying. In a startup, you will find money to spend more than that 100K a year to potentially grow more and more and more to be able to deliver on the growth metrics that you presented to your investors, which actually mean that you have a very, very steep growth curve, and you grow a lot, and you potentially finally will be able to sell to a premium so that everybody is happy. And so this was actually how it was supposed to work, and the reason behind inflated valuations in lots of companies that we saw in recent years, especially before COVID, for 2021 actually. And this is something pretty not understandable for most people that come not from the startup world, because they're like, how the hell are you evaluating these companies as much? And in all honesty, it's because they're trying to create something and build something that then is can make a real difference on the market. But there is also a financial reason why, because sometimes there is always some bigger fish than you, right? So let's say you raise your pre-seed at a certain round, and then you'll have somebody at the seed round that will evaluate that company a bit more based on the fact that it was valuated a certain amount in the pre-seed round, as well as in the Series A, then Series B, then Series C. So in the end, this game is there will be somebody bigger than in the end will value my company more. And it might work sometimes, but it's not how it always will work in life, because sometimes you will just find yourself trying to get money and you don't get money because the market is bad, because there is no maybe you're not growing as much. Maybe there are many reasons for which you might not be able to raise. And so the real thing is how you balance being sustainable with actually being a startup. And the reason is you probably don't, but you can try. And probably you also get rewarded for trying, because you might not get to unicorn status where you get lots of free money. It's like maybe in the American VC space, that's how it rolls, much less in Europe. Lots of free money, lots of money to be able to play with, lots of room, to pivot, to change your mind, to say that you're wrong. It's not that it's good or bad, it's just that it's the way it is. And startups should be able to do that, but in the end, at the same time, you don't have that availability of capitals in such a market like, for example, the market of 2024. And so the only thing that you can do is trying to be as much sustainable as you can through a business model that really helps you out doing that. And that's also why many companies have now gone to subscription models. And so in a startup, there is always this thing that Usually VCs tell you to spend a lot of money, but you shall be wary that yes, they give you money to spend it, but to be honest, you just need to care to make your revenues as high as possible, and especially to augment your margin as much as possible. Because in the end, and that's where we're going to, that's what your investors will actually look at in the end once you go to potentially being bought. What do you think a buyer sees? Do they see just your revenue? The answer is no. They're going to look at your EBITDA. They're going to look at other numbers and make up a story for you to be believable. And so the thing is that, to be honest, there is no real way out of the old way of doing things, except for the ones that are very good at just telling a story that isn't true, which we've seen lots of time. But I assume that you're listening to this podcast and you are, how can I say, you have good intentions, and you're not, you don't have ill will in that sense. And so there is this only way of doing things. And bear with me, because once you plan stuff like this, it will also look good for investors. Like, it's a story that is believable, is a story that is credible, is a story that makes sense. And so it's okay. Well, it's okay to like focus on super growth and whatnot. Be sure that it's a potential fail, which is okay. Like, you're not there to survive. I'm not advocating to, not grow or whatever. I'm just saying, please remember that once you decide to pursue the venture path and whatnot, you cannot be lured by this potential, I'll spend lots of money and see what happens, throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks. No, no, because there is no clear evidence that this has worked for many people. I mean, this works for venture capitalists because you invest in like 100 companies and maybe 3 stick out of that and make up for the rest, which is good. I mean, it's not good, but it's how the model works. But it might not just work for you. So please know the rules of the game, because if you're lucky, you'll be in the top 3. And if you're not, you'll be in the other 97. And guess what? Everybody thinks they're top 3. But there is a percentage of cases, over 90%, as you saw, that you are wrong. And so there's lots of literature about it. How can we improve the life of startups, lifespan, sustainability, and whatnot? But the real medicine is let them understand that sales and sustainability is the only way to go, because otherwise there's no point in creating a company anyways if you're not creating proper value to people. And I'm saying money in general, but I'm saying like value. So this was the podcast for today. We're back going around a bit, walking with a pup in the life. This is good. It's been a long time since we didn't do it, and it's very good to be back. And I'll hope to see you again around soon. And I will send you kisses, hugs, and a bit of barks. Bye.